welcome to another Fight of the Night review. This is for the Fight of the Night that took place 2 nights ago, technically now, between Raoni, Barcelos and Khalid, Taha, and it was at the Fight Island thing. And yeah, basically my job is to run through it as best as I can, but before I do, I want to say thank you to everyone who tuned into CWR last night. Because I did commentary for the first time in a while on that show with Jay Scott. That was a lot of fun to do. And yeah, also got some important stuff to say after this review's over, so let's just get to it. So the fight starts, and for the most part of the first minute of round 1, the two men are definitely feeling each other out. Barcelos is the first to land something though. He goes for a hell of a calf kick actually, and this is his main weapon throughout the majority of this fight. He actually downs Khalid temporarily with that calf kick the first time he throws it, and he manages to follow that with some really good boxing combos. There's a great moment where he gets a good uppercut in, then he throws some nasty looking hooks, he gets a plum clinch knee, he manages to get a takedown on Taha as well, and then there's some really great groundwork after that. Barcelos definitely stays on Taha. He goes for a couple of submission attempts. He has the back actually for quite a lot of round 1 after he takes Taha down, and Taha, credit to him, does manage to slip out of it. So yeah, it was just a really frantically paced first round. I'm sorry I'm not really talking about it in a lot of great detail, but yeah, Barcelos, he absolutely, for me, he took round 1. I mean, Taha did manage to fight back, especially in a moment where Barcelos had Taha against the cage, but Taha managed to fight back and land some really good shots of his own. However, I give the majority of round 1 to Barcelos when it was all over. Yeah, he just landed a lot more crisp-looking striking. Those calf kicks were there for him all day. He landed really good punching combos, really good boxing, and he got the takedown as well, which I think really, really helped. So round 1, definitely in favour of Barcelos. And then we move on to round 2, and yeah, it's basically sort of the same story. The two men feel each other out for... They feel each other out for a lot more of round 2. There's not as much action immediately right away, but when it gets to halfway point, they really start exchanging. There is some good shots thrown from Barcelos. He manages to keep Taha in range, and he throws some really good jabs to keep Taha guessing. But yeah, for the most part, it really is just Barcelos taking control of round 2. He lands some really great combos. Again, that calf kick is there for him. He lands some really good body combos, especially in round 2. And Taha looks a bit more flat-footed in round 2, because he did take a lot of punishment in round 1, but he was still powering through it. And okay, this is gonna sound weirdly accurate, but also just a bit weird. A lot of this fight reminded me... Hello, there's my cat. A lot of this fight reminded me of when Justin Gaethje fought Tony Ferguson, because a lot of that was just Gaethje punching Ferguson in the face a lot until it ends in the 5th round via TKO. This fight does not end in the 5th round, or even the 3rd round, because it's a 3-round fight. Duh. But Barcelos does sort of yeah, okay, spoilers, he wins. Yeah, definitely give the majority of round 2 to him. He just had a lot more control. He was pressing forward a lot. Taha was landing a couple of good shots, but yeah, by the end of round 2, it was sort of clear that Barcelos was going to win. And then we get to round 3, and for the most part, it looks like Barcelos is taking more control of it. Although, one thing I did forget to mention was that the referee for this fight was Jason Herzog, and he did a great job refereeing in this fight. Oh my god, he was really, really good. There was a moment in round 2 or 3, I forget which, where Barcelos accidentally kicks Taha, in the cup. And you know, sometimes when a fighter gets kicked in the groin, they do weird things to try and shake it off. I mean, we saw that Rich Franklin thing where he did that weird crouching thing to try and shake it off. Taha grabbed the top of the cage of his, well, technically Barcelos' corner, because he was in red corner, blue corner. That's a weird thing. And he grabbed the top of the cage and started jumping up and down, and that looks really weird when I do that. So, yeah, he tried to shake it off, shall we say? And yeah, it was weird. I don't remember if that happened in round 2 or 3, but basically round 3 was very much still in Barcelos' favour, and then the halfway point happened, and Taha was just yeah, I have to do something. If I don't get a finish here, I'm not going to win the fight. So he sort of woke up halfway through round 3, and he started landing a lot of really good counter strikes. He was getting hit harder with the calf kick as well. He was downed a lot from that, and it was clear to see that Barcelos was still sort of winning. And Barcelos gets another takedown on Taha in round 3 as well. He manages to smother him quite well. I think he once again goes for the back, but Taha actually manages to switch it around and get Barcelos' back temporarily. And it looked like he could have had a choke at some point, but Barcelos, he's he's a wily fighter, and he manages to get out of whatever Taha had planned for him, and eventually he just managed to punch Taha in the face long enough to reach a decision. And yeah, pretty unanimous, all 3 rounds given to Barcelos. I absolutely agree with the choice. Yeah, I think, like, even though it was a very one-sided beatdown, much like Gaethje Ferguson, it was a very entertaining one-sided beatdown, you know, and props to Taha. I mean, this dude stood in there, he took some really hard shots, and especially to, like, how the hell his leg wasn't broken by the end, I'll not know. He must have been, like, clipped 9 times with that calf kick. And Barcelos, like, knew that, and it was a very smart plan of him going in. So, yeah, I don't think this fight is going to be on my favourites of the year, but it was still extremely entertaining to watch. Hello. And I had a lot of fun just going through it, even though it was like, yeah, it's clear he won. But I didn't want to take my eyes off the screen because I thought ultimately it was still a very fun fight, and like Taha, I feel like if he can manage to put things together, he will be able to go a bit further in UFC, and Barcelos he's a fun fighter to watch in any case. And now for that important announcement. It's not really that important. Basically, I'm going to see you Friday for Defy the Gods 2. The logos have all been done by my good friend Graves. So, yeah, the arena's, like, I've put the logos on around the arena and it looks better than I ever could have hoped. So, I'll see you all Friday for that. I'm sorry it's been delayed so long. I just want it to look as good as a WrestleMania show, basically, because that's what it is for PBW. And, yeah, the next thing I'll see you for will most likely be that, unless I can get a catch-up Chaos episode done on Wednesday, because I don't want to do one tomorrow because I don't want to like throw too much at you at once. And yeah, I'll probably see you either Wednesday or Friday, one of those 2 days, depends. But as always, thank you for watching. You're awesome. Bye bye.